Hello, this is Catherine Marie, and you're listening to Long COVID Real Talk podcast. I wanted to talk about my long COVID clinic appointment today. I go to the Stanford Long COVID clinic. I think they are wonderful. I am going to be I guess I technically can't do it myself, but I will be assisting in the referral of my younger sister to this clinic because they have been nothing but great. And the only complaint that people generally have is that it takes a while to be seen. But the doctor that I talked to today said that the wait times are actually much improved now, which is really great. So I wanted to go over what we talked about and the medications that I'm on for long COVID right now. So first, we talked about just generally how I'm doing. I mentioned that a couple of weeks ago, I started on Valtrex, which is usually a medication used for herpes outbreaks, but it is an antiviral, and I wanted to try an antiviral. I met with the infectious disease physician, and they decided it was appropriate to prescribe Valtrex for me. I've been on it for about 2 weeks. I do feel about 20% better. Uh, I still have to sleep a lot, but the level of fatigue, it's just not as heavy as it was before. And I feel like I'm able to do a little bit more than I used to be able to do. Um, like even just now, I was going to take a nap and I thought, oh, I think I have enough energy to do an episode for the podcast right now, which I have not been able to do for a while because I've been really tired lately. Also, the other thing is I have been feeling better since I got the most recent COVID vaccine. Now, this is just me. I know that a lot of people have had not great reactions to the vaccine, and some people have become ill after getting the vaccine. So I want like disclaimer, I want to make sure that you're making all of your health decisions with your own doctor and not just, doing everything that I'm saying or anything like that. Um, but I originally got COVID in June of 2022, and the vaccine for that strain of COVID came out in the fall. And when I got the vaccine for the strain of COVID that gave me long COVID, I felt better for about a month. So I'm not surprised that I've been feeling a little better since the vaccine, because I tend to feel better. Usually I feel worse for 1 or 2 days and I have a fever and everything. And then usually once the fever breaks and I start to feel better, then I feel better overall for about a month. So, Valtrex and the long COVID vaccine, the most recent one, for me have been both helpful. At least that is what it seems. I went over with the long COVID clinic that I'm doing the Pepcid or famotidine, 40 milligrams twice a day, cetirizine or Zyrtec, 10 milligrams once a day, the low-dose naltrexone, 7 milligrams at nighttime, and I think that's it as far as prescribed medication for long COVID. And she mentioned that the only tweak she would do is to increase the cetirizine from once a day to twice a day. So instead of just in the mornings, I'm going to take it with Pepcid twice a day. So that's the only little tweak that she recommended. Other than that, everything looks good. We talked about new studies that they are looking to do for long COVID, and we talked about just, the future and how the study that they did, it showed that statistically, people who were given Paxlovid um, did not fare any better than the placebo group. But when you look at individual people, just how long COVID presents in all these different people, it is such, it just presents so differently. And it really, really seems to help some people, like myself. And then other people, it didn't seem to help much at all. So I think because it's such a heterozygous group of people and symptoms, it's going to be difficult to find one drug that is, the one thing that everyone should be on. We agreed that most likely it's going to be a combination of antivirals that we are on, and possibly another type of drug in the long term once we figure out a good uh, medical or medication regimen for patients with long COVID. So I think that is everything from the long COVID clinic appointment. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of the little change with adding the cetirizine to twice a day instead of once a day, and that the Valtrex is going very well, and I feel better after the COVID vaccine that I got a couple of weeks ago as well. So I will continue to post updates, but that is all I have for now. Thanks very much, and we'll talk again real soon. Okay, take care. Bye.